Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be ranking every starting small forward this season. Alright, I'm going to get right into this. First, I want to start with Ace Bailey here. He's a rookie. He hasn't played super good this season, but he's still a rookie. I don't want to put him in that F tier yet. I'm going to put him in that D tier. He hasn't been super great this season, but he's just a rookie, so we'll be light on him, and he's not like absolutely horrendous, but he's just not super great this season. So we're gonna start with a D tier for Ace Bailey. Next we have Asar Thompson, and I've been kind of just looking at the type of players we have, and I'm it's a tough spot for Asar, especially in the small forward category because you have Jalen Browns and stuff like that, but you don't have Shea Gilgeous-Alexanders and Nikola Jokic's and those type of MVP level players. Jalen Brown's very much like a one of the top players in the league, but he's not quite to that Shea or Jokic level. But with all that being said, I'm gonna put him in the B tier. And as I go along, I'm probably gonna make changes to where these players are at. I mean, as I figure out where certain players should be and certain players shouldn't be, maybe some player will get moved to a better or worse category. The next player is Brandon Ingram, who I want to put him above Asar Thompson, but let me look at the rest of the players. This is hard because I almost feel like now I want to put Asar down to a C because I don't really want to put Brandon Ingram and Asar in the same tier. Um, we're gonna put Brandon Ingram in the A. We're gonna leave Asar at the B for now. Next player we have Buddy Hield. He's gonna go in the F spot. Also, they have the best one and the worst one. I'm gonna put players in the F and the S, and at the very end, when I have all the players categories, I'm gonna figure out which one's the worst one from the F tier, and put them in the worst one, and then who is the best one from the S tier, and put them in the best one. The next player is Cam Johnson, who is gonna go, I think in the C tier spot. I'm gonna put him above Ace Bailey, but below Asar Thompson, of course. This seems like a very big jump from Cam Johnson to Asar Thompson, or sorry, from Cam Johnson to Asar Thompson. That's correct. Next player is DeMar DeRozan. This is where it gets very tricky. I I want to create more spots to have it here. Um, but I think I'm gonna put DeMar DeRozan here at the same tier as Cam Johnson, but I'm gonna move Cam Johnson behind DeMar DeRozan. Next player here, I have Denny Advia. I think I'm gonna put him in this Brandon Ingram A tier here. Um, and yeah, I think I'll put him behind Brandon Ingram, but I'm gonna put him here. Um, yeah, I mean Denny Advia has been so great this season. I just hate to base it all purely off of just this season, but I mean, I almost want to put Brandon Ingram behind Denny, but I don't know. Brandon Ingram's Yeah, I think I'm gonna put Denny behind Brandon Ingram for now, but we'll see. Next is Ayo Dosunmu. He's gonna go right in the F tier category. I know all the Bulls fans are gonna agree with me. He's just yeah, especially the contract he has is just yeah. Put him right here with that Buddy Hield. I don't think he's worse than Buddy Hield. I'm still gonna I think Buddy Hield's gonna at the end of the video is gonna be here in the worst one category, but we'll see. And that's from a Warriors fan, so yeah, it's just Buddy Hield has not been great. Next, we have Cooper Flag. I want to put him here, I believe. I think I'm gonna keep him behind Asar Thompson. Cooper Flag's been great. I just, I don't want to he's a rookie still, so I think we're gonna give Asar Thompson that respect because at least he's been in the league for a few years now. He's got some experience. I don't. Yeah, yeah. I think I'm gonna do that. My next player I have is Franz Wagner, who has been really hooping this season. Has kind of launched himself into that uh, potentially, arguably the best player on the Magic roster. Um, you know, catapulting himself above Paolo Banchero, which is a combination of him playing better this season and then Powell also playing worse this season. But this is a little tricky here because I don't know if I want to put him here or if I want to put him here. Let's see. I mean, I don't know. I feel wrong putting him quite in this level here. I think I'm going to stick to B, but I want to put him towards the front of B here. My next player is going to be Jalen Johnson, who has had a breakout season. His past few games have not been great, which makes this a harder decision than I want it to be, because if you would ask me, if I would have done this video a week ago, or yeah, probably about a week ago, he would be here 100% in this A tier. But he hasn't played super great ever since that Trae Young trade, and it just kind of makes me want to put him in this B tier a little bit. I think I'm putting him in the front of B tier, but man, but it's hard to. Am I really gonna put him behind Denny Advia? I think I'll put him here for now, but he could definitely go back up here by the end of the video. Next player is Jaylen Brown, S tier, 100%. I think he's probably gonna end up as the best one in this video, but we're gonna put an S tier for now. Next one we have is Jalen Wells, who, to be honest, I haven't watched a lot of Grizzlies games, I'm gonna be honest, and I haven't heard a lot about him. So I'm not gonna be honest, I could be wrong on this, and let me know in the comments if you think he should be way higher than this. But I'm thinking we're gonna put him in that D tier, but the best of the D tier. I'm gonna put him in the front of the D tier. Next player is Josh Hart. This is difficult because he's his stats don't show his impact, which based off of stats, I want to put him in this C tier area, but I almost want to put him in the B tier, but I think I'm going to stick at C tier, but I'm going to put him above DeMar DeRozan, put him right here. But he definitely deserves to be up in this B tier, and maybe he will be in this B tier by the end of the video. The next player I have is Jalen Williams, J-Dub. I think he's going to go in the S tier, but he could definitely be the beginning of A tier, but he hasn't played a lot of games this season, so that makes it a little more difficult. I think I'm going to put him in the S tier for now, but he could definitely move, especially after these next two players come in. So the next player is Kevin Durant, he's going to be in the S tier. It's Kevin Durant. I'm going to put him above J-Dub. I don't really think I got to say much about this. I mean, it's Kevin Durant. Next player, Kawhi Leonard. He almost feels like an A tier player this season. Psych, he's been hooping as a recent. Definitely gonna put him in the S tier above J-Dub here. But I could definitely see, because he's been hooping recently, which, recency bias probably makes me want to put him here. But he probably does deserve to be here based off the whole season. We'll just put him there for now, but it's pretty interchangeable, and one of those players might even end up down here, I think, because I don't know, 4 players in S tier seems a little excessive. But moving on, we got Con Knipple. I think I have to put him here because Cooper Flag's here. If one of them moves down to C tier, then both of them are moving down. Just gonna put them here. They're gonna be right next to each other no matter what I do. I just feel like that's right because they've been both so good in their own ways this season, and both deserve a Rookie of the Year. I personally have Cooper Flag ahead of him, but Con Knipple deserves a lot of love for the season he's having. The next player I have is Kyle Kuzma, who just has not really been that player the Bucks wanted him to be. I want to put him in the T tier section really off this season, but I hate to do it to Kyle Kuzma, but I think it's got to happen, especially based off the contract he has. It's a fairly large contract for what he's doing out in the court. The next player is Chris Middleton. He's going to be another F player, but I'm going to put him in the front here. I'm almost going to put Buddy Hield behind Aya. But yeah, I'm going to put Chris Middleton in the F tier, but down in the, or not down, but in the front of this F tier here. He could definitely be in the D tier. I think he deserves that to be there, but you already got 3 players in D tier. Move him down to the F tier, and see what happens by the time we get to the end here. Next player I have is Jaden McDaniels. He is gonna be, he definitely could be in this B tier, the end of the B tier, but I think he's gonna be here in this role player like C tier with Josh Hart. Um, like, yeah, I think I'm gonna put him here with the C tier with Josh Hart. You can probably interchange these two, either way, but I think he deserves to be right here next to Josh Hart in the C tier area. The next player I have is Andrew Nemhard, who has been injured this season. Uh, has he been, yeah, he's been injured a lot this season, so he hasn't played a whole lot of basketball. So it's kind of a kind of based off his last season, and based off his last season, I think he deserves to be in the C tier right here, especially what he did in the playoffs for them. You know, having some big games, hitting clutch shots. I think he deserves to be right here in the C tier above DeMar DeRozan. The next player I have is Royce O'Neal. I think he's gonna go here in this F tier, or this D tier. What do you guys think? The F tier or the D tier? I think uh I think I mean I have Chris Middleton down here in the F tier, which makes me want to put Royce O'Neal down here in the F tier, I think. Um yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. The next player I have is Rui Hachimura, um, who hasn't done anything crazy this season, but he's been a very good player for the Lakers last year, so I think that by itself is gonna get him in the C tier, but I'm not sure where exactly in the C tier. Maybe we put him here just based off of because Cam Johnson has not been super good this season for the Nuggets. Pretty inefficient for the Nuggets. So I think we put him here above Cam Johnson, but yeah, I think that's fair to put him here. Um, yeah, we do not have a lot of players in this A tier. We might have to move some players up, but I mean, let me look at I think we're gonna have to move some players around now that I'm seeing who's left. I think Jalen Johnson gets to get that bump up to the A tier, and I think I want to move a player down to D tier here. That's here at the C. Who do I want to move? Cam Johnson, DeMar DeRozan. Let me see. What do I want to do? Cam Johnson, DeMar. For me, it's between these three players here that are gonna go down to the D tier. I think it has to be between Rui and Cam Johnson. I think both of them are averaging around like 12 points. DeMar's way higher. I mean, he does a little less on every other end, but just based off his production scoring wise, I think we have to put it between these two. And it's a struggle because Cam Johnson has shown he can be such a great player this season. He just really hasn't been and pretty inefficient. But based off of the season, I think I'm gonna move Cam Johnson down to the D tier. But we're definitely gonna put him in the very front of D tier if I can get. Yeah, there we go. Now moving on to the next player, we have Max Strus, who is gonna be here. Maybe. I want to put him in the C tier, but I just moved Cam Johnson down to D tier, so I definitely have to put him in this D tier section. But yeah, I mean, based off this season, he has not been super great. If this was last season, Max Strus, then maybe he would have an opportunity to be up here. But I think I do have to move him down here, behind Cam Johnson, in front of Kyle Kuzma. The next player I have is Trey Murphy. He is a little tricky. I want to put him either at the very beginning of C or the very ending of B. Um, he is. Oh, this is a tricky one. I mean, I've have so many players at C, it makes me want to put him at B here. I think I'm gonna do B because I have so many players already here at C. This will even the numbers out a little bit and make it a little closer. All right, as I look at the next players that are coming up, I want to move someone to this A tier here. And I think the player I'm gonna move to the A tier is gonna be Franz Wagner. based off of this season, he's just been so great. I think he deserves to be at the end of A tier, but in this A tier still. Okay, the next player is Devin Vassell, who has been very, actually pretty solid for the season. He's having a little bit of an underrated season. I think he deserves a little bit more credit for what he's doing on the court. I think he deserves to be in the C tier here, just depending where in the C tier. I kind of want to put him here based off health, put him in front of Aaron Neesmith, put him behind Jaden McDaniels. I think this is a good spot for him. And maybe I might be moving a player up to B tier here in a second. But next player is going to be VJ Edgecombe, who has been great this season. Has been great. Definitely, I would say he is. I mean, he's not I would say, but he 100%. It's just a fact. He has not been the same level player as Con Knuppel and Cooper Flagg. As a whole season, he's had stretches where he's great, but as a whole season, he has definitely not been as good as these two. So I think I want to put him down here into the C tier again. That's getting very long. We might have to be making some moves here, moving some players up. But we'll do that once I get, I think the rest of the players in here. But VJ Edgecombe, I think, is maybe gonna be on either side of Devin Vassell. I think we're gonna put him here because he's a rookie. So rookies don't rookies don't get the love that they want. Just playing, but VJ Edgecombe deserves a lot of love. Just gonna put him here. It could go either way. Doesn't really matter. My next player is Andrew Wiggins, who I believe deserves to be in this B tier here, but I think he's gonna be on one end of Trey Murphy. I think we're gonna put him on this other end here. He just, yeah, I think this is fair to put him here. And my last player is Zaire Williams, who's gonna be in this F tier. Sorry, but he's gonna be in the F tier. Where in the F tier? Maybe we'll put him right here. It's whatever. But now that we have this, we're gonna move some players around because I want to make it pretty even. I want to make it 5 per tier before we go into the best one and the worst one. So that means we have to move one player up to S tier from A tier. And who is it gonna be? I don't know. Brandon Ingram deserves a lot of love. Danny Advia, Jalen Johnson, and Franz Wagner all deserve, a lot of love. I don't know if any of these players are quite to the level here. They're definitely going to be on the last of S tier, but S tier is a lot of love that all of these guys deserve. But I'm not too sure who I would choose. I think who I'm gonna have to go with is gonna be Denny Advia, just solely based off of this season. This season has just been ridiculous for him. I think he deserves to be in the S tier, but so do these other 3 guys. But I think Denny Advia just got that slight edge on these guys. And now I have to move 2 players up to A tier from B tier, and man, this is difficult. This is really difficult because I want to do Asar and Cooper Flagg, but Con Knuppel deserves to be right next to Cooper Flagg. But I think 100% it's going to be Asar Thompson as the first player that goes up to A tier. And wow, I can't believe I'm going to do this, but I think it has to be Cooper Flagg. I just don't think these players deserve it quite as much. Psych, did you guys really think I was going to put Cooper Flagg over Trey Murphy III, who has been absolutely hooping this season? He's averaging like 22 a night or something like that. Great defense. He's just been so great. That's why so many teams are after him in the trade, in the trade market at this trade deadline here. He's just been so good this season. Cooper Flagg's been great, but man, Trey Murphy deserves so much love. Cooper Flagg will definitely be at this level and above this level in the future, maybe even next season. But for this season, Trey Murphy gets it. Next season, probably gonna be a different story. And now that we move 2 players up, we have to we have to move 2 more players up from C tier up to B tier. And this is tricky. Josh Hart, maybe doesn't put quite up the numbers that some of these guys do, like Jaden McDaniels and Devin Vassell, but he does a lot more than just the numbers, and I think that gets him up here. I really do think it does. For me, offense wise, Jaden McDaniels and Devin Vassell are very close. But defensively, I think Jaden McDaniels just gets the job done better than Devin Vassell does. So I think I'm gonna put Jaden McDaniels up into this B tier here. And now the each tier has 5 players, and it looks very good. But now we gotta move one player into the best one, and one player into the worst one. To start off, we're gonna go with worst one. This is tricky. I think for me, it's between these 3 players: Ayo Dosunmu, Zaire Williams, and Buddy Hield. But as a Warriors fan who watches, has seen almost every single Warriors game this season, it's got to be Buddy Hield. I mean, he's just been horrendous. He I mean, yeah, he's just bad shot attempts, not good on defense. It's just not good. We're gonna put him here. Maybe that's my biasy that is disrespecting him, but you know, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But what you guys have been waiting for this whole entire video is the best one. Who is the best player? Who's the best small forward? Best starting small forward. Jaylen Brown, Kevin Durant, J-Dub, Kawhi Leonard, or Deni Avdija. Deni Avdija has been having a crazy season so far this season, but I'm gonna say no because this is his only season he's played this crazy like this. So maybe this is a one-off season. Next season he goes back down to where he was before. I don't think that's what's gonna happen, but we just we can't put him the best one based off this season, especially since other players in this are playing at the same level or better than this. Next player, Kawhi Leonard, I think has been having a really good stretch as of recent, but he just isn't getting quite the numbers this season, that quite the averages this season as some of these other players. J-Dub, really good player, but second best option, hasn't played a lot of games this season, so he's gonna be out of it. So it's down to 2 players, Jaylen Brown and Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, he a legend in this game, has been one of the best players we've ever seen. But he has taken a little bit of a step down, it feels like, this season. It seems like Alperen Sengun is kind of right there with him as the best player on the Rockets, and I'm just not sure if he quite out edges Jaylen Brown, who is a not quite to the MVP level that Shea and Jokic and Giannis are, but he's definitely not like top 5 kind of conversation for MVP, and he deserves so much love for what he's doing in this Boston Celtics team. This Boston team has been so good without Jason Tatum. I can't imagine what it's going to be like when Tatum comes back. So I got to give it to Jaylen Brown as the best small forward in the NBA this season. Let me know what y'all think about my list that I have created. Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Do you think it's horrendous? What would you change with your list? I I think it's pretty good. There's some interchangeable things that you can do, but definitely I think this is pretty close to what should be accurate. So let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. Thank you all for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.